Hey guys, I want to give you an update on the governor's race. Check out, I think the fix is in. Check it out.
Because in California, where there's a lot of mail vote, if your mail ballot is postmarked by Election Day yesterday, it can be counted for the next 13 days. So we don't know at this point how many more ballots will be mailed in. This is an estimate. There is still a lot of vote to be counted. So the rankings here could shift. Javier Becerra could end up ahead of Steve Hilton. Tom Steyer, it's not completely inconceivable that he catches either Becerra or Steve Hilton. Still a lot of vote to go. And one thing we do know about California and this mail vote, as it comes in later, it does tend to get more Democratic, bluer. So it could very well be that Steyer gains and Hilton sinks. Just to show you what I mean here, I want to point at San Francisco if I can. You can see San Francisco here, obviously one of the Republicans, not even among the top three candidates right now in the vote that has been counted in San Francisco so far, with 50% in. So a lot more potential vote for Tom Steyer in some place like San Francisco, where he is in the lead. So at this point, Audie, still a little bit early for us to call anything in California. We're watching it. These are the three to watch. You'd rather be Hilton or Becerra at this point. Steyer's got a lot of ground to gain. And no matter what happens here, the Democrat, if one of the Democrats is among the top two like we expect, they'll be the heavy favorite. They will be the heavy favorite in November because California is so heavily Democratic.
We know California was also involved in this big redistricting fight. Are there any House races that people are now concerned about, or any shifts on the ground there?
I want to show you one race here. It's California's 6th congressional district, and this is really interesting. Audie, Kevin Kiley is the incumbent. I know you've had him on your show. He is now an independent, technically. He was elected as a Republican. He left the Republican Party after the redistricting. He is now an independent, but he's not a Democrat, right? And Democrats want to pick up this seat. This was one of the districts that was redrawn to make it a Democratic pickup. But you can see right now in this so-called jungle primary, where the top two candidates will advance to November. Right now, the top two candidates are Kevin Kiley, formerly a Republican, now an independent, but definitely not a Democrat. And in second place is a Republican. So if it ended right now, these would be the top two to advance, and the Democrat, Richard Pan, would be shut out. That's right now. I will tell you, there's only 48% in, and again, the late vote tends to be Democratic. Very possible, maybe even likely, that Richard Pan moves up. But this is one of those things that's interesting about California. Sometimes you can get these anomalies, and people can get blocked out if there are a lot of candidates on the ballot, Audie.
All right, John, speaking of anomalies, can we just check in on the L.A. mayor's race? We talked about Karen Bass being in the lead, that she is going to advance to the general. Have any gaps closed there? What are we looking at?
These are still the numbers we're looking at right now. Karen Bass, the incumbent mayor, a little bit less than 35%. Spencer Pratt, the reality TV host, at 30%, and Nithya Raman down to 22%. This is, last I checked, with about 63% of the vote in, so still quite a bit more vote to count. Bass, we do project, will advance to this runoff, to the election itself in November. We're still waiting for the second slot to fill in. A lot more vote to count. Is it possible that Raman catches Pratt? It's possible. It is a steep hill to climb, and no matter what happens, one thing I want to point out is you do have a majority of people voting in Los Angeles voting against the incumbent mayor. More than 50% voting against the incumbent mayor, Karen Bass, right now, which does tell you something, although, once again, this being California and heavily Democratic, if she does end up facing off against Spencer Pratt, this is a nonpartisan race technically, but Karen Bass is a Democrat, Spencer Pratt is a Republican. If it is Karen Bass versus Spencer Pratt, she would be heavily favored, Audie, because Los Angeles is so heavily Democratic.
So what do you guys think? That's pretty crazy. If you listen to what he's saying, that the Democrats are going to win in California no matter what, I think they're cheating because we have no voter ID out here. Anybody can vote. And it takes 13 days to count votes out here. 13. Every other state, a day they're done. It takes 13 days to count 300, 400,000 votes. So I think the fix is in. What do you guys think? I mean, this is pretty straightforward. They're waiting all this time to count up the votes to see if either one of them could move up quicker, slower. It's like a slow trickle. They're getting them in and getting them in, and slowly they're moving Steve Hilton and Pratt down. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you like this type of content, hit the like button, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.